Starting with YM, we have a weekly fair value gap confirmed there with no market structure shift yet, and inverse of the fair value gap there with this wick respecting that old fair value gap. I'll actually put that there. So that's interesting. And then on the daily, we've had a shift up here, no shifts down here. We took out relative equal lows on the Dow Jones Industrial Average here, and then bounced and um, rebalanced this short-term range. But now we've created relative equal lows again with this. That's a daily inefficiency. Well, there's just two of them. And then this balanced price range, or mostly balanced. So we got almost a playbook setup here on the higher time frame where we create a inverse fair value gap situation here. Sorry. Here. If we go to like 2 days or something, I'm sure it's there. There it is. 24 hours, we got a fair value gap, inverse fair value gap, a balanced price range, and relative equal lows. Also, we have relative equal highs here. So to me, that makes a lot of sense to come down again. And at the same time, we got relative equal lows on SPX and SPY and ES. So there's definitely still a draw of liquidity down below that could play out. But yeah, so far we've rebalanced this and we've got relative equal highs up here. We could come back up into here, I'm thinking, as a possibility to get short. But so far we've come back into the order block, into the equilibrium of the new week opening gaps, and then respected this new week opening gap into an order block and efficiency, sweeping old support resistance level. So makes sense. It's rejecting. I was thinking there could be a short on Friday, but I had already had a winning trade and there was no more news catalyst to like key off of. But yeah, so far it's looking bearish. Obviously, we're coming down, so I'd be looking for either a reason to get back in long if there's something telling me that. Monday is there's no news. Tuesday we have the election. Wednesday, basically no news. There's some orange folders which actually end up being pretty lucrative there on crude oil inventories. So crude oil's been a big one lately for market movement. And Thursday we have the Fed funds rate and FOMC. So it should be a good week. I think Monday will provide an opportunity, especially because there's the election and FOMC the same week. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, so far we've rebalanced this gap down and created another new week opening gap on the Sunday open. We're trading back down into the weekly fair value gap under this liquidity area. So it makes sense that they could rally this though because of the um, okay, whatever. Just forget what I was trying to say. It just makes sense that they could re-rally since we did kind of shift up out of here on not on the 4, but on the 1 hour there is um, some PDAs, but at the same time we're coming down so sharp and we've created a gap here. So if this hourly looks like it's going to close with an inefficiency there. So I think this new week opening gap could provide a short opportunity tomorrow, maybe, unless there's some reason to get long. But looking at the Dow, flows, mostly call selling, though puts were negative, so that's just a mixed bag. No idea what's going on in the flows. Uh, yeah, don't know what's happening there. No edge in the flow for me on the Dow. Also, Dow flow is not very reliable anyways for the amount of premium in there. But yeah, it looks like we'll have to look at SMT areas of interest, see if we had anything up into here. I know in the short intermediate range here we did have some, but yeah, don't want to get, yeah, see like right there. So yeah, I think looking for a short makes the most sense. Um, um, but also keeping in mind there was SMT down here, there's SMT on everything down here. So as we're coming back down, that's the other side of this coin. If anything, it could be possibly a long right now, literally. Let's look at it. So it looks like Dow's also taking that low. So that's the non-farm payroll wick right there, where we had an SMT in NASDAQ and ES. Easy money trade right there that you could have had. But I was too focused on Russell. But yeah, everyone's basically taken out NFP lows besides NASDAQ. So that's relative strength and relative weakness here. And we had those relative equal lows there. Nice SMT dip down. So tomorrow could be looking for a long in the NASDAQ, oddly enough. Puts were ramping up into the all day in the Qs with calls flat. In the holdings, puts were being sold all day, matching price. Puts being sold. And calls kind of flat there. So price rose into the day as puts rose and calls. And then we kind of went sideways in this range here. And then as price started to come down into here, puts actually did start coming up still with the volume in the puts. So makes sense as this dips down. We're creating lots of smooth lows. Uh, yeah, same thing on Russell, same thing on that Dow. Quite a big SMT that happened here though on this. So kind of weird. But as for that high, there was a reversal SMT there and very clear SMT as YM took out this high here, took out the liquidity that would have been, you know, symmetrical up into here. So very clear SMT. As for ES and NASDAQ, there was just a short-term SMT. So this could also have been the bottom. This could also be a long. I'm in the camp that this could actually have been the trade, like right here, like right now, and then a long up into some sort of internal range. Let me look at ES real quick. This was the order block that I was looking at earlier. And then it just tagged. Well, it actually broke the low there. Hmm. Yeah, not clear with that. But yeah, so far, clear weakness in Russell with this. We got a manipulation up into there. And then oops. Anyways, let's just finish the analysis first. So yeah, Dow Jones, kind of looking like it could go either way. But I mean, since it's not clear for like a reason to go and it's been disrespecting those areas already, I do think it probably heads lower. So if all right, so Dow Jones. I don't know. This is kind of interesting. It's sort of my playbook setup. Wait, 10 minutes. 30 minutes. Inversion. 30 minutes the only time frame. And there are fair value gaps here on the 1 hour. But yeah, I'll wait till tomorrow. This could, if this holds, that could actually create a playbook setup. And then we'd look for Russell to have something happen here too. We already have had Russell show relative strength right into that area, taking out this news low. But YM has also taken it. Oops. But if we're just playing off of this super higher time frame SMT, we're back into the order block. We have higher time frame SMT, or at least intermediate term, and then now we're creating a smaller time frame relative strength in Russell. Yeah, we just need more time. I think honestly it could totally just be a bounce from here, but I'd like to have the flow. Russell was just not clear. Put selling, call selling. Puts were rising all day. Calls didn't make sense. Yeah, did not make any sense. Maybe we can see something here. Crazy amount of put selling. So they covered So they took profit on their calls. Yeah, I think you just gotta wait to the open. There's just nothing super clean. Everything's kind of the same as literally on Friday, so I don't think much of an analysis is. I mean, the only thing I missed was what happened up into here. We had SMT into um, signs of weakness, especially on the flow, and then yeah, we got our reversal. Short-term SMT. I don't think that's strong enough to be a full reversal here yet, so I think we do bounce here. I just know that sometimes, oh man, it's just tricky. NASDAQ holding. NASDAQ's the obvious one. Because NASDAQ flow, no, it's not obvious. SPY had tons of, bearish flow all day, making a lot of sense there. But then they completely dumped their puts, and calls did ramp up into the close, with Tide selling calls and selling puts, with calls coming up into the close. But mostly looks like put selling. So let's see here. I think it's going to be a very small time frame play. I think it's going to come right now, at least, probably back up into the new week opening gap. That'd be interesting. So there is some bullish flows there on the ES. To me, that's pretty clear. Since everything else doesn't make sense, they're disguising everything. The only thing that's very clean is SPY. So it looks like everything's happening in SPY. And that the holdings, they're selling puts all day. Wow, okay. Yeah. Selling puts, and they gap it down back into that area. They create an SMT with NASDAQ. Okay, I'm going to actually get in a trade right now. But I gotta log in. I'm gonna get long on the. I just don't like those relative equal lows. We've already had a move down in the open. We did sweep those lows. We had SMT with ES. Dow Jones making lower lows. Yeah. Did it open? Did ES literally open down here? Oh, ES opened down there. It cracked that low. And then created SMT with the Dow at this low. So what does that mean? I'm actually going to do the Russell because we have the same exact setup, but there's no relative equal lows there. And we also have the higher time frame SMT to support the trade. micros, it didn't take the low. All right. Let's get on at least 5 right now.
Order filled. Order working.
And then measure how much later. Okay. 5 times 5 times 7. 5 points of risk. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So risking less on this trade. My stop. Man, there is no justice for the stop loss on the. Technically, I should be risking 3 points. All right, what's happening here? Well, we'd want to target at least equilibrium. So yeah, above these highs, at least. So risking 5 points for 15. Perfect. And then on ES, that is so weird. Yeah. Yeah. All right. What else? Let me check out Russell, see if there's any PDAs to take out. Just the smooth highs. 15 minutes. We got the relative equal highs with the fair value gap, and then like a support resistance area that we'd probably take out. Okay. That actually lines up with the new week, old new week opening gap. Okay, cool. All right. So small size, just exactly like I was planning. I think the trade makes sense. I think that we do at least retrace a bit up into here. Yeah, makes sense to me. Anything else? That's so interesting. Yeah, I think the only thing that's making me feel weird about it is the entry. But I think it does go up above there. Cool. Yeah, I think that's the likely thing is at least a small time frame move. The only thing the only thing that I can see is smaller time frame SMT with intermediate range SMT that's not very strong, which makes sense why we got the move down at least, but not for an extended period of time. So I think, yeah, I think this trade is pretty valid, and that's why I'm risking small though. No news, and right now is the Asian Open, so we are entering into a kill zone. Flow has the little bit of edge there with SPY, and it all makes sense to me. So the only thing is like, okay, yeah, it would have been nice to actually catch a better entry, but that's exactly, this is still a decent, setup. So, all right. So yeah, looking for a bounce here. Don't know if we'll all get all the way up into there, but we'll probably get at least filling the gap into filling the gap. Um, and then what else? Yeah, if anything, we might create like a weird move where we come up and then ES comes and breaks the low, and then that's like another long setup, or some sort of short setup happens literally while I'm long right now, and then we get a break, above this high with NASDAQ or whatever, and then we get a SMT to actually get short. So we'll be looking for that tomorrow. I'll still take a different trade tomorrow once that's up. This is just a smaller size trade, and I'll do the exact same size tomorrow too. So either way, it's good. All right, that is the plan for now. I'll update it in the morning. Adios.